Hello YouTube, it's Carlos the Rook, and I'm bringing you round 4 from May Action that I played at Chess Zone, my favorite place to play. I apologize for not streaming for a while. I went out of town for work, had to go to Raleigh and Charlotte, and then I ended up going to Tennessee for my wife's birthday. I just played a 2-day tournament this weekend, so now I'm back to record, and I have all the games up. This game plus 5 more games coming at you. So in this round, I'm playing Chetan. He's 1682. I'm 1658. I got the white pieces. I start off e4, c5, Sicilian defense. Knight f3, knight c6. We go d4, capture, capture, e5, knight to b5, d6. I bring the other knight out. a6 hitting the knight, fall back. And here you go, bishop e6. The idea is stopping the knight from coming into d5. And here the engine wanted this line, knight c4, b5, knight e3, knight f6, bishop d3 to protect this pawn, because the knight wants to go into d5. Then it's saying g6, a4, hitting at this pawn structure. The knight doesn't come into d5 right away, but the threat is there. The threat is more powerful than the execution. So that's all there. So I went knight d5 right away. He brings the knight out. I pin it. Bishop e7. Bishop captures. Bishop captures. c3. And my idea is knight c2 to e3. He brings the rook to c8. I go knight c2. And my idea is to bring it to knight e3 so I can reinforce that knight. He castles. And I go a4. I'm not exactly sure why I went a4. Maybe to stop a b5 idea. b5, b4. He chops, take back with the queen. He bring the knight in, and he's threatening. If I take this knight fall, and he got a rook here, and I'm not castled yet. Here, the engine just wants me to ignore him and go knight e3. Wow, knight e3. Just ignore him. Then that knight got to get up out of there. Wow, that's nice. That's nice. I go bishop d3. He captures. I capture back. Queen b6. Rook b1 protecting the b pawn. Rook c5. Queen drops to d3. And here he goes, queen c7. The engine wanted him to hit the d5 break because that's a weak pawn there. I take the time to castle. b5 takes. And now I go bishop b3 because I know b4 is coming, and if I take, I'll lose the bishop. So I just want my bishop outside of that, no tactics. Bishop e7. And here, the engine wanted rook a1. And the idea behind rook a1 is queen b8, bishop d5, and you threaten to hit that queen back there. So it's saying b4, c4, locking it in, queen b6, and then rook a4, and you're putting pressure on this b pawn here. So that was the idea there. But I didn't see rook a1. I went queen f3, and my idea is to put pressure right here on this f7 pawn so this rook can't come out. So he brings the bishop to f6, blocking that off. And now I go bishop d5. I got an outpost for my bishop. It's really strong here. His bishop's doing nothing. My bishop is eating real good. Rook b8, and his idea is b4. I bring another rook over into the game. b4 anyway. I take, he take. And I go queen a3, hitting the rook and threatening queen a8. He dropped the rook back. And here I go g3. My idea is to stop bishop h4. So I see rook c2 coming, and then bishop a4, putting pressure on my f2 pawn. So here and here, we'll be putting pressure on that pawn. So g3 stops that. Rook c2. And here, I wanted to play b4. But I just felt like my f2 square was going to be weak. The engine is saying b4. What's rook e2? So I was thinking black was going to do something like rook e2. And it's saying bring this rook over here, hitting the queen. Queen go to b6, hitting this. Queen f3, protecting the f2 pawn. The rook got to get out of the way. Then it's b5. And the white pawn marches up the board. Rook c6 is an idea next. And then this pawn is weak. The queen has to move. And you got a lot of energy there. Another line was bishop g5. And then it just says king g2. Queen b6, hitting that f2 pawn again. Queen f3. Bishop e3. Queen captures f7. Just ignoring that bishop e3 coming in like that. Queen captures f7. King h8, rook f1, and Stockfish says white is completely fine. Matter of fact, white is completely winning. Wow, that's an amazing line there. I didn't see that. So I played bishop b3 instead, hitting that rook, just trying to get him out of my house. The rook drops to c5. I went rook d5. He goes h6, giving himself some luff. And here I go king g2 because I felt rook c1 was coming, and I just want to get my king off so there's no trades with check. He takes the rook. I take back with the bishop. And now I have advantage, 1.79 advantage for white. And here he goes bishop g5. I know bishop d2 is coming. So I wanted to play b4. And the engine is screaming b4. But I was afraid of bishop d2 hitting the pawn. And I wasn't sure if I can get the pawn rolling. If the pieces come out. But it's just Stockfish just saying b5. Bishop a5 to stop the pawn. Queen f3 threatening here. Bishop b6 blockades the pawn. But white is completely winning here at 2.58. So I should have went into this line, and I could just go here. I could just go. It's saying rook b3 here. Rook b3 with the idea of bringing the rook to rook b3 to rook c3. So this is the idea Stockfish is saying here, here, and we putting pressure on the queen. That is just brutal. That is brutal. I didn't see that. So I just went b3 to be safe and make sure this pawn would be protected if the pieces ever came off. So he plays bishop d2. I go rook a1, and my idea is to bring the queen to a7. He hits the queen. I breathe. He doesn't trade because I wanted to get the rook here and hit this pawn here. I take, he take, I go check, he go here. And here, Stockfish wants this. Rook f8 to go at this pawn. And if king g6 is saying h4, h5, b5, king f6, rook h8, g6, rook h7, bishop b6 blockades, and it's saying white is winning here. This is the variation Stockfish wanted. But I didn't see that. I went rook a8 instead, hitting the bishop. He goes bishop d4. I go b5. I feel like I'm getting my pawn rolling down the board. Rook c2. And he's threatening this. Now I'm looking. Oh no, the rook is not there. And I can't do bishop captures f7 because rook captures f2 check, picks up the bishop. So I went rook a2. He trades. I take back. And the king comes. I move over. King moving. h4 just get some space on the king side. f6. H5, locking in that pawn structure. I'm controlling the light squares. King D8. And I thought he's going to run over here trying to get to this pawn. So I go bishop D5, cutting off the king. He go king E7. I go F4, F5, king F3, king F6. I capture, he capture. G4 check. King F6. Bishop B7, G6. Take. Take. Hold on. Something just happened. Let me bring that back up. Give me just a second. Just a second. I don't know why my chess base crashed. I think we was right around here. Let me see if the window's still sharing. I gotta reshare. Alright. King F6. I'm just making sure it's sharing. King F6. I went bishop B7, G6. I take, he take. F5 check, king G5, bishop D5, H5 to take the pawn. He takes back with the king. I go F6. And here he come up with E4 check, picking that pawn back up. That was a great move, 'cause I was trying to run with that pawn. I take, he take, I go B6, bishop D8, B7, bishop C7, king F5, king H6, king E6, king G7, king D7, bishop B8, king to C8 hitting the bishop runs. I go king C7, king F6, take the pawn, bishop B8 check, and here I gave him a draw. He had asked for a draw like move 20, then he asked for a draw around move 40. I denied it both times because I'm playing for a win. I'm trying to get a piece of the purse. He just needed a draw to take clear first. So we had a good game. I had a chance if I went B4 earlier, but I was afraid to shoot the trigger, and the game ended up in a draw. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends and family, and let's grow the channel. Have a nice day. Bye.